Well, hello everyone. Today is Sunday, April 26th, 2020. It's kind of been a bit of an eventful weekend. Yesterday, we brought the 4020 here up from Rose Valley. We had it in our little shed building there, and just, I don't know what exactly the deal was. I mean, we were not making progress on it. Matter of fact, this tractor has been apart since, well, 2 years exactly. We started tearing it down in either March or April of 2018, and just, I don't know, it stalled out. We were all living in the valley then, and in 2018 we moved, well, Dad and Peg moved up here to the farm, and all the livestock and the farming operation moved up here. And then my brother and I stayed in Rose Valley. Excuse me. And you know, for whatever reason or another, it just kind of stalled out. The reason we tore it down in the first place is we loaned it out, and it came back to us with, well, when we loaned it out, it had a little bit of a knock in it. We later found out they had overheated it and didn't treat it real good, ran it low on water. It tried to seize up on them once. It tried to seize up on us a couple of times, but we shut it down and let it cool off a little bit, and it came right back to life. And you know, the whole rest of the day when that would happen, it never tried to tie up again. What we ended up finding out, we had a lot of piston scuffing inside the liners. And anyhow, you know, I don't know what caused it. We do know for a fact that this had a set of main and rod bearings rolled into it. In, well, the date on the bearings, let me see if I can find one here. The date on the bearings is either 97 or 98, I do believe. Let's see what we can find here. That says 8 of 97. It's a Federal Mogul bearing. Well, I can't get the light just right. Anyhow, it's a Federal Mogul bearing, part number 3126CP, dated 8 of 97, and it's a standard bearing. Bearings, the main and rod bearings don't show a lot of wear, and we don't know whatsoever, you know, anything about the pistons and liners. They were, you know, they could be original for all we know. I'll have to clean on one of the pistons and see if I can find a date on it, but we don't really think that it had a full overhaul done in 97. We got this tractor in 2010, I believe. And actually, I'll have to do a more detailed video on this tractor specifically, because I have had a working relationship with this tractor off and on since 2005. I first come to know of the tractor in 2002 or 3. And we borrowed it the summer of 2005. Had to do some work on it then for the guy that owned it, because it screwed up when we were running it. The needle rollers in the PTO gear train on one of the idlers failed, rung out, and ended up having to put a new stub shaft, new gear, new rollers, the whole 9 yards in it. We may actually still have that gear and that stub shaft somewhere if it didn't get scrapped. But anyhow, that was kind of the start of me knowing this tractor and working on it. We bought it in 2010. I've had it ever since. You can see the side frames on it. We've got a 148 loader for it, just like we do the 2510. This is the exact same tractor that's been featured in the round baling video with the 847 New Holland. It had a tricycle front end on it, and it was featured in a cultivating video or two. Trying to think if it's been featured in any of my other videos. I don't think so. I'll have to go back and look, or, well, better yet, why don't you go and look? Since you're, already watching one of my videos, kind of help get some of my view counts up. But, and we're unfortunately are no stranger to splitting this tractor, because after we got it, we had to put a transmission pump in it. And if you'll notice, the keen-eyed observer sees there's a something missing here. Anybody that knows power shifts. Not sure why, but when we got this pump, if you see here, this collar is pretty short. The regular collars come out to about here. And that's what the throw-out bearing for the disconnect clutch rides on. These have an engine disconnect that is operated by this lever here. Now, let's see. You see when I work that lever, that fork moves. And really all that was for is to make it easier to start in cold weather, so that you didn't have to try and overcome the drag of the power shift, clutch packs, and everything. Here is the early 4020 Bible. We've actually had this manual a lot longer than we've had this tractor. When I first got to know the book, look right there, flopped right open to power shift transmission. This book actually had the service manual for 4000 series, 4010 and early 4020, and then back here was a service manual for 2630. And we've accumulated some literature over the years, and we're fortunate enough to get a hold of an early 4020 parts book. So I just put it together in this book. Even though this says parts catalog, it's also the service manual and the parts catalog for the early 4020s. But that's another video I'll probably try and put together at some point, is a tour of my literature collection. That'll be fun and interesting. But yeah, today I'm just kind of doing a progress video on this tractor. Now keep in mind, we brought this tractor up here yesterday, Saturday, April 25th. Excuse me. After sitting for 2 years stalled out. We put the stands on it, got everything blocked up, had it rolled apart within 2 hours of it landing here. And the reason we're splitting it, we got to take the disconnect clutch and flywheel off, because we're putting new cam bearings in, and this one can only be driven in and out from the back. Well, it has to be driven out from the front and then out the back, and then the new one can be driven in from the front or the back, I believe. I'll have to study on that. But that's the whole reason why we're splitting it, is to take the clutch and flywheel off, the disconnect clutch, excuse me, and the flywheel off, so that we can do that rear cam bearing. But today, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to crawl under there and show you, because there's honestly nothing to see, but we rolled the new mains in it today. That's why we have these boxes of used main bearings here. Kind of the one, I guess, sucky part is this tractor had the one-piece thrust bearings in it. And you see these have the shoulders on them, whereas these don't. These are the mains used in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, and then the thrust is on number 5. Number 5 main. So, I mean, I'm not going to set a goal or a deadline or anything like that, but I will keep giving updates as we get along on this tractor. I just, it's like Dad and I have talked, you know, I miss it. I miss running this tractor. You know, that power shift, if you've never run one and you get the chance, you know somebody that's got an 8-speed John Deere power shift tractor, jump in the seat and run it for a day. I guarantee you will like it. But yeah, once we get this one back together, I'll probably do a more detailed rambling video on it. I've rambled enough. I've rambled on for 10.5 minutes in this one. But if you know me, you know that's just how I am. So, let's see, what else we got right down here right now. That's our 1033 bale wagon. Redoing the second table pivots on it. That's another thing we've had for 2 years now. We bought that in June 2018. I haven't got to use it yet because of the worn pivots on it. This tractor here is going to get a video all of its own because it is just a unique little oddball bastard child. Kind of like our other utility as well, the one with the M&W turbo. This is not the one with the M&W turbo. This is a 3020 power shift utility. Excuse me. Diesel, obviously. We got the one wheel off of it. We're actually in the process of doing, I guess you could call it a cosmetic restoration on this tractor. Even though for this tractor the flat top fenders are not correct. There's actually a lot that does not make sense on this tractor, and I promise I will do a video on this one a little later down the road. If the weather is nicer next weekend and my lighting is better, I'll do one on this tractor just for shits and giggles. But I wanted to do an update video on our progress of this tractor. Obviously, not all of the you don't see all of the parts here for it. They're scattered about. No, I shouldn't say scattered. They're all here on this property. They're just not here in this pole barn. So, anyway, if you like what you're watching, give me that thumbs up. Or leave me a comment if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I don't care. I guess you could say I'm trying to grow my channel, but you know, it's not. I guess you say it's not a priority. It's something I'd like to see. But anyhow, I've jibber-jabbered for almost 13 minutes. We're just basically coming down here to tell you guys that we got the new mains in the 4020, and well, it turned into a 13+ minute video. So anyhow, I'm still working in Lancaster, 70 miles away. Dad will probably do some work on this because he's off right now thanks to the whole COVID-19 situation. He's a bus driver, and the schools having been closed for as long as they are, so you know that he's had quite a bit of free time, and he's gotten a lot of stuff done around here. So that's kind of where things are with that. If nothing else, I'll try and get another video made next weekend, kind of giving you an update on this tractor, and maybe the one I'm leaning on, this 3020 utility power shift. Oh, it's kind of neat. We've got a 3020 and a 4020 power shift, both sitting in the same pole barn, half-ass tore apart. Well, that one's like 7/8 tore apart. This one's like half-ass tore apart, but yeah, I digress. Okay, anyhow, we'll talk at you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.